Hey out there, thanks for tuning in. I'm at the Kingsburg house. I'm waiting for an inspector to come out. The inspector is from my hard money lender that I used on this particular house. He comes out and he inspects. He wants to make sure that I did some of the work that I said I was going to do. It made me think, hey, I'll make a quick video about how to buy a house with no money down. However, I know I'm not the first person to make a video or write a book or something like that about how to buy a house with no money down. The thing is, I think it's kind of not right to say no money down. It's kind of alluding to that you don't have to have access to cash, and that's not the case. You have to have access to cash. There is a difference though. You don't have to have cash in your bank account. If you do, it makes it even easier. If you got a checking or savings account with some money in it, great. If you don't, then most people have access to it. And what I mean by access is, do you have a 401k that you can dip into? Do you have money under your mattress? Do you have any equity in your home that you could take out a home equity line? Do you have credit cards that you could take out cash advances? Do you have an Uncle Billy Bob that might want to get into investing? So, in other words, if you put your thinking cap on and get creative, I imagine you're going to come up with some sort of access to cash. And that's what I'm talking about. Using a hard money lender to get into a house with zero cash out of your own pocket is absolutely possible. I've done it. I've done it over and over again. So it's not just lip service. Now, I've spoken to a couple people before about hard money loans, and they have, I'd like to say, contempt prior to investigation when it comes to using hard money lenders. They say, no, I'm never going to do it. The interest rates are too high, the fees are too high. Well, this is what they heard. They heard about hard money lenders and then never investigated it, so they're yet to buy their first investment property. I'm here to tell you that you could use a hard money loan to your advantage, and it could be even better than using cash. Matter of fact, Robert Kiyosaki from Rich Dad Poor Dad, he says if you use cash to buy investment properties, then you're lazy. I liked it. I felt better about it, even though I had no other options, especially in the beginning. My first deal, I said this story 100 times before, but I used 2 or 3 of Diane's credit cards to get cash advances, and we bought our first place in South Amboy, and we made some money on it. So that's how we got into it, using credit cards. The numbers have to make sense. I'm not telling you to use a hard money lender and have a thin profit margin in there or something like that. The deal has to make sense, and these deals are not that easy to find. I've made videos about finding deals, and the one video I made is the 70% rule. If you can find a house using the 70% rule, then that at least is a great starting point. They're really hard to find. What's a 70% rule? I'm just going to summarize it. If you go and you find a house that you could buy at 70% of the ARV, the after repair value, you are on your way to possibly getting an outstanding deal. So let's just say for simplicity, you can get a house for $50,000 purchase. It needs $20,000 in rehab, like renovations, $20,000. And the house is worth $100,000 after you do the renovations. You're going to have $70,000 into it. That would fit into that plan. But Harry, who's selling a house at $50,000 if it's going to be worth $100,000 with just $20,000 worth of work? That's where legwork comes in, and you got to look for them. They're hard to find. But if you find one and you pass it up because you have something in the back of your head about using hard money lenders, you just missed out on a fantastic deal. Let me give you the numbers on this Kingsburg house so you see where I'm coming from. The Kingsburg house, this one I'm in right now, I bought for $153,000. I already did the comparables in the area. I already knew that it was going to appraise for about $300,000. It came in at $305,000 ARV after I do my renovations. I already read the numbers. I'm familiar with hard money lenders. This particular one that I'm using, I think I used 7 times, and I built up a rapport with them. I already run all the numbers before I put my rehab budget together. And then I make the rehab budget as big as I can. So this way I build up a cushion in there. Look, I brought over the majority of the floor. I could do the living room and the dining room. This is the same floor that I used in here. Have I told you guys I love that floor? So let me give you the real numbers on this Kingsburg house so you can see how it works in real numbers. You know, a lot of times we'll see these books, How to Buy a House with No Money Down, and they give you roundabout numbers and ways to go about it and stuff like that. Well, this is going to be as specific as you could possibly get because it happened. So I bought the house for $153,000. The ARV after repair value came in at $305,000. I know from the numbers that I run, the ratios and everything else, and I'll get into more specifics if you're interested later on. If you're interested in hard money loans, either call me, put a message down below, or something like that. And I'd love to go into the specifics. But I already know that I can come up with an $82,000 budget. That means if I can really do the renovations for less than $82,000, the difference I'm going to put into my pocket, or at least have a cushion for a surprise. I open up a wall and oh man, drama. I came up with a budget on this house, a real budget, where I'm doing most of the work myself and then getting plumbers, electricians, and maybe some other tradesmen in here. I came up with like a $45,000 budget. That means I have like, what do I have? I have like $37,000 cushion in there. That's nice. If I can get through the renovations for $45,000, then I got $37,000 just off of the renovation budget that I could put in my pocket. Never mind the difference between $305,000, the purchase price, and the renovation budget. The renovation budget of $82,000 and the purchase price of $153,000, if it was legit, the $82,000, if I had to spend all $82,000, then I'd be all in on this house for $235,000. I'm leaving off the carrying costs and the closing costs, but you do have to factor that in. So let's say there's a, I don't know, $55,000 to $65,000 cushion if you were to sell the house at $305,000, if all those numbers jive, then that's not chump change. You know, $50,000, $60,000 making it on a house. It's not. Matter of fact, a lot of flippers are going out there and they're making less profit margin on each house, but they're banging them out. They got crews that come in and they bang everything out and they move on to another one, and they have a profit margin $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. Good for them. That's not my model. I want to hold on to these properties and I want to have them grow over time. So I need to have a bigger cushion. So with the ARV of $305,000 and the numbers I just gave you, I have an additional $37,000 if I'm able to stick with the budget that I came up with of $45,000. So now we have the $60,000 and $37,000. Now we're talking. Now we're talking about $100,000 margin in there. That doesn't mean at the end of the day I'm going to walk away with $100,000 cash. I'm going to walk away with a little bit of cash, and then I'm going to leave the rest grow and grow and grow. I had to come up with $24,000 on this house, but I'm going to make more than that on the rehab. The reason why I'm saying that to you guys is if you have access to $25,000 or $30,000, you can get in to real estate investing using hard money lenders as your partner. If you want more info, you just got to reach out and I will walk you through every step. See you later.